like you are.
Thank you.
It's Jess the Ska Kid. We're at Palace Day, Sheila Reno. We have Ego and the Maniacs all the way from Ohio.
Hello.
Because they've been on tour and they saw the validity in coming to play on our show. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we'll do introductions really quick. We'll start with you. Name and what you do.
I am Josh. Everybody calls me J-Mo. I'm the singer and I play guitar.
I'm Jay and I play drums. Sorry.
I'm Alexis and I play tenor saxophone.
I'm Josh and I'm the singer and I play the guitar.
Wait a minute.
What?
You just said that because you're sitting next to my wife.
Are you
son of a
copying
bitch.
him?
I'm stealing your identity. I'm Kevin, they call me Knuckles, I play bass.
I'm Cassandra, I play keys and guitar.
And sing.
And sing. Yeah, keys, guitar, and sing.
I
You
also
sing
sing.
too.
Yeah.
So, how long have you all been a band?
Oh wait, no, not too long.
Was it 8 years now?
Fuck, we quit now.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. Well, when the band started, it was just me and Jay and Knuckles. And
We were like, we need some talent.
we spent like a few years not doing anything. And
Writing.
we did just writing and fucking around, you know.
Writing, just drinking.
But probably about 6 years ago, Alexis joined the band, followed shortly by Cassandra, and that's when the band really started to take form and take shape and take off.
Yeah, but they added a lot of dynamics to it.
So, how would you classify yourselves as far as your sound is concerned?
Ska punk ska?
Well, we're not even really that punk.
Or that's
Reggae?
I don't
Or
know.
even that,
Is
yeah, or
reggae
even
there?
that ska.
We're very confused.
Scott, Jason!
We're ska punk adjacent.
All of it.
So, what would be then your influences that have made you want to do this type of music?
Yes, we're generally under the influence.
Cheers! Everybody cheers! Yay!
Cheers! The cool thing is that everybody in this band comes from like different musical backgrounds and things that they like, and somehow or another I think that we're pretty good at blending our different musical tastes together in a way that's kind of unique. At least we hope that it's unique.
I totally dig it. Like, we had played Automatic on the show probably a couple months ago. When Kevin first had messaged me and was like, hey, here's our stuff and we'd really like to get on the show. I was like, we're going to play you for New Music Friday. So we played your stuff and it was like, these guys are great and I really want them to come on and be physically present.
Wish granted.
Yeah, I know, it's super great.
You regret that now.
It worked out perfect, but let's talk about how you come to be here. You were on tour, yes? So,
Mini tour, yes.
a mini
Mini
tour.
tour,
So do a little summary of where you've been, where you've played, and what leads you to our basement this evening.
We played a place called Halo Live in Sandusky, Ohio, which is an old church that they renovated into this awesome live venue and studio.
Yeah.
Very
We
cool.
played with
very cool
a
place. 13
straight
Towers.
awesome ska band out of DC called 13 Towers. So that's how it kicked off.
They played on our show.
13 Towers did?
They sent us music and we played them back
Awesome.
November of last year.
Awesome.
And they had just released their new album that
Yeah.
they're now back
Two
in.
Is that the
Yeah.
Two Banana Habit?
Yeah.
So, hey.
We were rocking that on the way here.
Yeah,
I know, right?
yeah, they're awesome.
And then after that, we went to Elefest, which was a charity event. And we kind of kicked it.
That was in Bellevue.
We wanted to stay for the whole weekend because it's like a camp out weekend, you know, big charity event for food for folks and a women's shelter and all this other stuff. And so we kicked that event off and then had to leave to come out here. And then we played the festival.
Fall Fest.
Economo Walk Fall Festival. Say Economo Walk, Jay.
Common Walk.
Okanamawak. Try again.
Common Walk.
Oh,
you guys, man. I can't.
Okanamawak.
Now,
3
Jay,
years and I can't.
Now, Jay, tell me you're an excellent driver.
Now wait.
I'm an excellent driver.
Omo Walk.
Okay.
If I do it
Turn it
slow,
off,
I'm fine.
turn it
If I
off.
say
Good
it slow
job. You
speed,
did it.
it's like trying to watch me color. It just all. Really bad. And then after that, we came here, and now we're here.
And then what happens after you leave here?
We're gonna get really drunk,
We're gonna go to the drunk uncle if anybody's in the area.
We're crashing at our buddy Dale in Milwaukee. Crashing at his place. And he's taking us to the drunk uncle, which is.
I think she meant show-wise, not like what our plans were.
Oh.
Like at 4 a.m. I'll probably take a shower.
This guy, you might not color in the lines, but he can fucking follow a question. Good job.
Oh.
No, after this, we head back home. And then we have our Ska Punk Prom in Toledo,
Ooh.
which we made last year, which is an awesome show where we like redo prom where people dress up.
We just did one of those in February.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Hell yeah.
Is that actual prom season? Because we're doing it during homecoming season.
No, it's not during any season because I don't abide by certain things. It was definitely fucking snowing and horrible. But we had a nice turnout and we did a 1920s theme prom.
Oh.
Awesome.
We had a whole ska show and it was really neat. So.
And we put up decorations and everything, like silver stars and streamers.
Yes,
and
we had the little
Photo
booth
booth.
where you could take a picture. Yeah, see, you guys got it. So then,
Yeah.
here's a question: as you're participating in this event, will you all be dressing up?
Oh,
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
dressed up and
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing that I can critique the bands who showed up to play this. None of them dressed up, and like,
Defeats the whole purpose.
If
Right,
they
and
don't
that's
want to be any fun, they can be spoiled for it. But if you want to dress up, dress up. Have a good time.
right.
What was it? The Purple Gang? They all had the same light blue tuxedos.
yeah.
It was amazing.
Wow.
And then they were gaudy as hell.
it was like a
so
bad looking
cool.
wedding band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
Right.
for a prom that works perfectly,
prom,
right? So then, when we had played you, we played Automatic, and we had found that on Bandcamp, which is like, you are on Bandcamp.
Yeah, I know. I didn't remember that was up there.
Yeah, so that's my question to you, is you have just that on Bandcamp, but you played a bunch of stuff that I'm not familiar with, so where is that located, and how many albums do you have available?
Alright, so I feel like I keep talking, like the drummer should just shut up.
There's one album.
You should just talk
we-
because I
we-
asked a question.
Is that how that works? I'm so confused. The lines. Alright, our first album is out. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. It's pretty much everywhere. If you
Google.
search
Google
it,
Place,
yeah,
you're
it's out.
normal.
It's fun if you look it up on Google on your mobile app. It'll say Igor and the Maniacs.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that.
Google messed
Igor.
up somewhere.
Wow! I can't spell.
You can't just call Google and be
But
like, hey, can you...
it's only on the mobile app.
Everything else works though.
It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, everything works.
You can
but-
actually still play that way, but they just call us Igor and the Maniacs.
Wow.
It's an Easter
Oh.
egg. We've had them do it on purpose.
Yeah.
That album is called 7 Miles. It's, full length. We just finished our second album, second full length. It's not released yet, but that'll be out here pretty soon.
I was gonna say, do you have a projected release date?
Oh, it's done. We're thinking we're going to kind of take the winter to write some new stuff for the third album,
Cool.
and then in the spring release the album, and then spend the summer promoting that one. That way, next winter we can record the third album, and then just try to get in that cycle of
You gotta
because
plan.
we're old and it sucks playing in cold and like carrying shit in snow. So that's my.
We don't want to do anything but record. So that's my question next then, is when you do hit the studio so that you can make another album, how are you recording this? Are you guys do-it-yourself type folks who are recording it, or do you go through a recording studio, or how does that work? What is the process from you're hanging out in the basement drinking to we have a new album?
We got a great studio in our hometown. Alan Fisher produces us. He runs the studio. It's
North
just
Coast Studios.
North Coast Studio in Fremont, Ohio. It's just incredible.
Hi, Ellen.
You always watching like they better give me a plug.
Do plug.
But it's a great professional studio.
He built it himself, man. It's like awesome. So friggin' awesome. He's
How
got a
did you
big
come to find
library.
this person?
So he's from Boston originally, and he met his wife, and they moved to little tiny Fremont, Ohio, where I live, which is like, I mean, it's very small. It's like 45 minutes or half hour from Toledo. And
I
he was
used
an
to drive
engineer.
every week.
He was in a bunch of old Boston hardcore bands. I mean,
Berserker.
yeah.
Wow.
And so.
Would you like to like a
Yeah.
High fives! High fives!
So bad. He is so bad.
circle.
So he builds
Did
this
you say
studio.
making fuck?
Yes.
So he builds this studio, and we met him through some mutual friends, and it just all clicked, and we recorded our first album there, and just got done with the second. We just got to do artwork and press it, and it's done. And so yeah, that'll be out soon. And like I said, like the third
Yeah,
one
it's
going as
done.
well.
We're ready to go on
Ooh,
that.
ooh,
It's kinda-
ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Ready for another question that I have that I ask everybody who comes on this show?
This one makes me nervous. Whatever this
Oh.
is.
Ready? You got a Burt Reynolds. Grab that heart. Just kidding. I'm bad.
Oh, I love you
So-
so much.
So my question is, when you decide to release an album and it has been pressed and you have that, do you go through a distributor to fucking distribute your music? Like CD Baby,
We
Yeah,
yes?
We do CD baby.
Can I ask why?
because we're lazy.
Oh.
And because
Yeah.
for like literally for like $80, I think it is.
It's really 120 because you
Is it?
pay about 30 a month for a whole year.
Preach.
I don't think we pay that.
No? Then you're lucky.
No, we do.
And that's an interesting thing too, because every single band that has been on here has quoted me a different price.
Yeah, we do. We purchase our CDs, and then we do a digital. This is hard to say when you've been drinking all day. Digital distribution packet,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like $80, and that puts you out on all the everything. Now they do take a cut of what you make,
A significant cut, and your rights.
The hand is out.
not the rights, but
They
the cut.
do, because
They
if
do?
you were to ask them to not continue to have your music available on, say, Spotify, iTunes, etc., they would say, nope, we own that now.
Oh.
They can continue to distribute your music on
We need
different
a lawyer.
platforms and make money on it where you will not.
Huh.
Just so you know.
Well,
So
that
my
sucks.
thing is, and what I've been trying to educate everybody who has come onto this show. So James White from the Trees of Life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. We know.
yes.
He was in a band.
So I can't
Yes,
believe
I
that he
see
hasn't
your
slapped
band.
y'all in the face yet with this, because he came on our show last November and he discussed with us what his process is
We
for
should hire
making
him.
music, distribute.
Yeah.
Yes, you should. Oh my God, I learned
He
so
was in
much.
Annika with him.
I know.
Back in
He
the
That's
sold the
I
shit out
know.
of
He
us.
was like, you guys should meet up with our band and like he told us, he was like, you guys should go do this thing. What was it? A couple weeks ago there was a music fest that y'all played that he was
And
like,
acoustic.
Yes, and acoustic. And it was like August 3rd.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the first
yeah.
Oh
one.
look, see, memories
Wow,
are
yeah.
great.
I didn't know the day.
I don't know how you know my mom's birthday.
I'm sorry. Because I'm God, bitch, bow and worship. But what he taught us was that when he started making music and distributing music and had researched all of these things, that thus then I went out and researched, these people own and take your shit. And they make money off of you where you don't get to make money. So he does his own thing.
My bad.
Throw it on the ground, you're an adult.
I'm so furious about them taking our money. I just
And
spilled beer.
I want
You look like a
everybody, like the independent music scene, the underground music scene needs to continue to grow, because you, if you've made this music that has been recorded by somebody who has given you the tracks, all you have to fucking do is go onto SoundCloud, create an account, post your shit. Go on to, because you're on SoundCloud, go on to Spotify, link it to that, and it posts it for you. You maintain all of the rights, the royalties, and everything for your stuff. And if you want more information, because you are friends with James, he will tell you step by step how to do these things. Shout out to James, he's coming back November 15th to do a show with us. So I gained so much knowledge from doing that interview with him, because he
He's
refuses.
a smart guy. He like works and stuff.
You know what he works at? He works at the Trees of Life.
Yeah.
Like that's what he does, and he has.
Here we grow.
Yes, here we
Yes,
grow.
yes,
Hashtags.
yes.
Here we
Hashtags abound. That's really a pound sign, but hey.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
yes,
help me out,
pound
because
here we grow.
we're gonna talk to him and be like, all right,
You should
walk
do
us-
that.
Walk us through this.
This
and we'll release it that
next
way.
few
Yeah.
albums that you have, please maintain your own shit, because you will receive all of the royalties, and you guys are, you're amazing, and there is no reason why any distributor should have to gain off of your backs. The music industry has developed slavery, and this is what this is. Because
It's rough now.
right? It's
yeah,
horrible.
it's rough.
We've decided that because we're lazy or because it's easy, we can go through somebody who will post our shit for us. Why? There are enough of you in this band that someone could say, you can post today, you post tomorrow, and we all maintain our own social media, we all maintain our own rights, and we all maintain our own royalties to the music that we've thus developed and created. Like this show is a free distribution site. We're on all of those major platforms that you would pay CD Baby to put you on, because we went on, we maintain our own shit, we pull our audio files, we manipulate them to be put onto these other platforms, and thus we don't have to do anything. We soon next year will be on Spotify and iTunes, because there's no reason why I need to pay anybody to do this. I'm smart, and fuck you, I know how to do this.
Can I get an amen?
So I encourage you, talk to Jay.
You're yelling at us.
I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling.
She's so mad.
I'm momming.
I'm sorry.
She's so mad. We're
I'm the
lazy.
happiest mad because there's a smile and it's confusion. But really, moving forward.
Yeah, JMO.
No,
For Christ's sakes, listen to James.
please, no,
Not
honest to
this
God.
James. He's a smart one.
But this leads me to my next question, because I am not terribly familiar with the Ohio scene. Do you guys partner with any local bands to continue to work in collaboration so that you have cross promotion and thus are able to further expand your network?
Yes.
Who?
Well, it was Texas Pete.
Wow, guys, sorry.
But now they broke up. So,
R.I.P.
Yes.
yeah.
Then it was canceled out.
Hey, I hear they're making a comeback.
Oh god.
Canceled Out, by the way, is a punk rock band that me and Jay are in on
Jay
the
and
side. I know what I said.
Yeah, I said it wrong.
That was my next question is like, how many of you are in other bands, and how much time does that cut in to what you do here?
Almost
Just
none.
those two, and, this band is just like if there's like a practice or a scheduling conflict or whatever, the other band just falls to the wayside.
This band always takes precedent, no matter what.
So how then have you established yourselves in practice to be able to create the music you do, i.e., who is really the creative driving force behind Ego and the Maniacs? Or do you all share collaboratively the efforts
We
to
all
contribute to this band?
we all
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
If somebody's got an idea, we just bring it to practice and we all bang it out and run
That's
with
great.
And then
And then we make JMO write lyrics.
because you can't write him for him. He's impossible.
Yeah, I wrote one.
Yeah, you did write one.
He has an
that's
interesting
true.
melody requirement.
You wrote last time.
Who? What is
Don't make fun
that?
of me.
The way he likes to sing, like the pacing of his lyrics, he's got a
I,
very specific
I, I
way
write
he likes
I
to do
write
it.
melodies, and then I put the words to the melody,
Diva.
which is not the way I guess some other people do. And these guys will try to write lyrics and try to have me sandwich them into that melody. And if it doesn't work, I'm like, that doesn't work, and then they get really mad.
Because you can sing it and it fits, and he's just like, that doesn't fit.
But it
I
doesn't
just
fit.
Did it. I just
But
did
we
it.
all hear it and we're like, yeah, that fits. And you're like, no.
So he hates.
I'm
writing-
not doing that.
Original. It's not the
So here's
original.
where he's good at writing lyrics, but he hates writing lyrics. Like he hates
That's
the process
true.
of
That
it.
is true.
If you try to help him, it just turns into a fight. So you basically we write the songs and then we just leave him alone for like a month or two, and he comes back and he's like, I got lyrics done.
Yeah, like
Right before he has to
both of
record.
our last albums, all the music was written, and there was melodies for everything, and sometimes there was a couple words for choruses, but there was no lyrics, and I would just sing nonsense lyrics at shows.
But it sounds like something. You would never be able to tell.
Right.
You can't tell.
So then,
You're getting like all the undercuts.
so then when it's time to record the vocals, I lock myself in a room for like a week or two, and then just hammer them all out all at once.
Because nobody wants to talk to him at that.
Sometimes in a room with an angry Boston guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you got those lyrics done yet? They're almost done recording the other guitar
Yeah.
part.
No.
Alan will be on him like, hey, where are they? Where are they? Because we're telling Alan like, well, we already know what the song's gonna be about. We already talked about the concept of it and the idea behind it. And we've all come up with all sorts of lyric ideas, and he's like, nope.
So,
yeah,
JMO,
you
most
gotta
importantly,
get
we
that.
love you.
Aww.
Lying motherfuckers.
I tolerate your presence.
I tolerate your
Oh,
presence.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Drummers for honesty.
Tell my wife hello.
Do you, how then, because I know that it does arise because you are different people who come from different backgrounds and contribute different things, how do you resolve conflict within your band?
We've only ever
Fight
had
Club.
one Fight Club.
You're not supposed to talk about it. She's out.
That's 2 rules. You had 2 rules.
Now the thing about this band is before being, you know, musicians and band members, we're all best friends.
What?
Like, all right, secrets out, Fight Club.
Turn the cameras off. Can't see this.
We had that too.
And we've all known each other forever. And
Yeah, we used to, like, I used to be in a band, they used to be in another band back in the day, and we'd always play around, you'd play together, like, all the damn time, go watch each other's shows, and then all of our bands broke up and fell away, and we're all like, well, this sucks.
Aw.
so
Hey,
if you
good
don't
one,
have a
Sam.
band, you don't have a band, you don't have, let's start a band, you know? But like I said, we're all best friends first and have been best friends. We've all known each other forever, you know? So that comes into the biggest part of it.
The best thing is when there's a conflict, we just sort of address it and deal with it, and then we just move on.
Like,
And
I
there's
don't know,
only
it's like we're adults.
There's only been a couple. I'm not gonna go that far.
There's very few.
The last time we were here, I left my shoes in some house. Like, I'm not gonna go as far as to say where to go. My shoes had to be mailed back to me because I left them here.
Wow. That's cool.
No, that's.
I mean, it's interesting because, like, how did you get so far away without them?
Well, because I
Like,
put.
when did you realize they were missing?
I don't know. I put on my moccasins and I was chilling out. No, it was.
Okay, so you weren't barefooted?
No, I had moccasins on.
He had
And then-
slippers. He
and
calls
then-
them moccasins,
Yeah,
but
so
they're
Before we
slippers.
left, I got really high, and then I got in the van and just didn't think about my shoes until the guy we stayed with, Dale, he called me and he was like, "Hey, dude."
At least he mailed you back your shoes.
Yeah, what a nice guy. Well, he was actually in my house once in Ohio, and he left his backpack with like all of his wallet and all this stuff, and I would mail that back to him.
Ooh. So then, how do you
he
know
owed me.
this person in Milwaukee?
From Acoustics.
Okay.
See, they were in a, he
Here,
was in a
what-
band
what-
called Annika,
See,
which
like Charles
featured
Band,
Tim
I know.
O'Keefe, and he's from Kenosha.
I know.
Well,
It was
he-
funny when James was like, "You should know these people," and I was like, "I don't know anybody."
So, you know, we got this Kenosha, Toledo, Fremont sort of like crossbreeding going, and then Acoustics happened, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, Dale, you're awesome.
So now there's
And
like this
Dale
big
insists we
network.
come out, and we're like, fuck yeah, Dale.
Right.
So when we come out here, you know, Dale's always like, oh, fucking crash here.
Yeah, where his
you
crashes
know?
out, he's mailing our shoes back.
He's a great guy.
Actually, you show up at his house, he's got like 15 different kinds of beers for you. He's like the best host ever.
Wow.
And then other
His
band-
wife
and
Alyssa,
then-
or girlfriend Alyssa, I don't know.
Until now.
Until now.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in the van tonight, damn it.
But like other bands from Ohio, like when they come to the area, you know, he lets them stay too. You know, he's
Yeah,
kinda-
I have tent city at my house. We have like, when Acoustics happens, I have like 20 tents in the backyard.
Yeah, when Acoustics happen, there's usually a few bands from Wisconsin come out.
Right.
There's usually several.
Talk about the last Acoustics Fest. What was that like, and how did this thing come to be? Because James briefly talked
How
about
did
it.
Acoustics come to be?
But like you guys now are the living, breathing example since you came from Ohio. Hey James, fucking get your shit together, put it in a bag, and come to Wisconsin to do our show.
So
Because I know
weird.
you come visit these people.
It's so
And
weird
bring your
hearing somebody
shoes.
not call him JT, but I'm sure he told you his name is James.
No, his name is James. That's
It
how I
is?
know him. That's
Yeah.
how. That's what I refer to him as. Like people don't ever call me by my real name. I'm the full title. Jess the Ska Kid. I'm like, you can just call me Jess.
Can I just call you the Ska Kid?
You could. Someone once asked rudely,
Can I just call you the?
the with a capital T.
Or no, wait, Scott.
Huh.
No, I don't know what.
I just call you Kid. Hey, Kid.
Someone was like, when will you
Okay.
become an adult? And I was like, my name was given to me, so the nickname has stuck.
And besides, who wants to be a fucking adult?
No, I can
No.
pretend well. But
Wait
talk
a minute.
about Acoustics Fest.
So, Acoustics. Oh,
You take that one.
I don't. Alright. No, it's awesome. It's
Jay
fun.
has to organize a lot of it. That's why he's flustered.
It's like, well, there's 3 or 4 main people that like help put it on. Actually, there's probably more than that. But I'm gonna see. This is why I get nervous when talking about it because I'm gonna miss somebody.
It's okay.
It's
You
a
don't have
lot
to
of
name
people
names.
collaborating to do it. It's a free music festival. It's always been free, and we bring in as many bands as we can. I think our record was 8. We were looking back this last year where we were setting it up. 18 bands in one day,
Wow.
which is a lot.
One stage.
What's that?
One stage.
Yeah, one stage. It was Sharan Mosier, Anna, Allie, Karen, or Sharan Mosier, yeah,
Yeah.
Karen Dabrowski, Vince Dabrowski are the ones that own the property. It's a huge property. They let us do this big giant event. It's basically like to get that whole community feeling going. Shotgun beers over there?
Not yet.
It's
If you want me to.
It's musicians helping musicians. It's building connections, letting people, meet other bands and all working together. And
So where do you draw from?
What do you mean?
Like as far as the bands, like you said that some Wisconsin
What's
bands
funny, when it started out, we were like messaging bands like that they knew or I knew. We're like, hey, do you want to play this festival? Whatever. And we had to like get them. And now it's like every year we have bands messaging us. Hey, can we play? Can we play? Can we play?
Mostly Toledo area kind of.
Yeah, Toledo.
But there's
We got them from Detroit.
That turnpike on 80 is nuts, by the way. Then
Yeah.
somehow you get lost in Detroit and you're like, oh, this is bad.
Oh,
Man, if you were on 80 and got lost in Detroit, you made a big
Yeah.
mistake.
Yes. No, I didn't get lost.
Oh, okay.
I know direction
Ah.
and can read fucking signs.
Somebody got on 75. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it also
Road
got, like,
jokes.
with James or JT's band Annika, which he was in. He was the drummer in, and so Annika had a pretty good following. Tim O'Keefe was in it. Tim O'Keefe's from Kenosha, from here.
Yes.
So they were doing really well in Toledo and had a good following. And then we're like, they were like, hey, we need to have a free show. So they made it acoustic. Went out in the woods at the Dombrowski's property.
Annika Acoustics.
And
Acoustics.
So it's all acoustic done?
Well, no, it
No.
wasn't. The first
was
year
in
it
the
was.
beginning.
And then like a lot of people showed up, and then so the next year it's like we did it again, and we grabbed some more bands, get them in there, and we're like, well, we need to make this not just strictly acoustic. So then we did it again, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. Now we have like a beer truck, we have food vendors. It's
we had a giant stage donated to us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
from Image Sound in Toledo, which is JT's dad.
Hey,
That's
Jim.
Yes.
That yeah.
Mhm.
So it just grew into this, and
So
then
now
now.
it's a big thing.
Her parents just gave her 60 acres, or
Wow.
I forgot how many acres.
So you're gonna be the new Woodstock?
Kinda.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
So what is the genres that play this
All.
event?
All
And-
kinds of genres.
We prefer
yes.
to have the biggest diversity you can possibly have. We've had blues bands, we've had straight rock bands, we've had punk, ska,
classic rock,
classic rock, acoustic,
bluegrass.
you name it. We want.
An interesting goth thing with like she was playing like a lap harp. It was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the idea
it's
is
like all over.
to meld it all together. Be like, don't
Yeah.
be genre specific.
Have
Just
you ever seen a saw player? Because in this band that I play saxophone in, we have a saw player.
I think with Ryan Roth in the sideshow, we have seen a saw player.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
we
neat
did.
I
thing.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing. Hey, Ryan. Ryan Roth is an amazing singer
You
songwriter.
said that, and I looked up like it was here, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here?
They followed you.
No,
Nice.
Ryan Roth's an amazing singer songwriter in our area, and he has he'll just get together and he calls it the sideshow. So it'll be Ryan Roth in the sideshow.
And
He'll
it's
just get
whoever
other
comes to play with
singer
him.
songwriters, people who play like any kind of like odd instruments, stuff like that. They'll get together. It's amazing. He does a hell of a cover
And they
of
just jam,
what's it called,
yeah.
"Son of a Bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. That he does an awesome cover of that too, and
So-
all his originals are amazing as well.
That's in August. If people who are watching the show
Yes.
are interested in this, how should they pitch themselves to you so that they can get on this festival?
Well, they'll have to wait 1 year because we just got that new property donated. So
Okay.
this year we're doing what's called old school acoustics, where
So
we're
you're
not going to
going
really
back
promote it.
acoustic?
It's going to go back to we're not putting the stage up, we're not bringing the lights out, we're not
We're
having
not
a
the big
giant
stage.
PA, we're not going crazy. It's going to be back to
On the deck, it's gonna be a giant keg party
like
with bands.
a couple hundred people having a keg party basically.
Because we got to dig
Um,
a big ass outside stage.
And then while we're doing that, we're going to get the other property ready, and that is going to be a full-on functional music venue at some point. And
It's
Ooh.
2020.
2020?
Yeah, that would be
Oh yeah!
2020.
Wow!
Yeah,
I forgot
right?
how old I got. I was like, really? Like that's the future. I'm
That's
way up
the
there.
future.
That's
It's
2020.
the DeLorean did its thing.
I'm still in like '96. Give me a break.
I was like 10 in
We're
96.
old. Some of us are old. Some of us are not.
We were playing in a punk band with that guy.
Yeah, it was a roadie back in '96. Back to '98.
Wow.
Hey, you're a beard guy.
So,
I'm the
what is
drum
the
guy.
scene like in Ohio? Because I would have to say, you're the only band so far that has reached out, but we've gotten bands from, the East Coast and West and very, South, like Florida and Texas. So what's it like in Ohio?
And Toledo's growing. Innovation
Yeah.
concerts.
Yeah, it's
Cody, Zach, Brock, all the guys at Innovation.
Yeah. If you guys want to get booked in Toledo, Innovation Concerts is a good place to like reach out to.
they pretty much run as far as the promoting scene there.
Yeah.
There's
really revived the scene.
several venues
Yeah,
in
there's
Toledo.
There's other smaller bars that do stuff too.
Sure.
Like Frankie's, the OT.
Or just down the road, Howard's and Bowling Green. They're awesome.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they really work to build up the scene. A lot of people are like, "Oh, promoters are scuzzy, horrible people," but these people are not like that. They are the exact opposite of that.
no.
So when we talk about that and promoters, because this has become a recent thing that I've been dealing with, and it is a moral conundrum for me. What is it like as far as booking? Do you guys have to pay to play?
No.
Good.
Well,
Not in Toledo.
All right, that's good. Because there's a few fests out here that are done that they tell the band, you pay us, and you get tickets to sell, and what you make back from the tickets is what you'd get paid. So what?
Well,
It works here. I'm sorry, I keep.
Like, do
Go
venues
ahead.
or promoters have an actual base of income where they can write into a budget enough funds to pay a band?
Yeah, we get.
oh yeah,
Innovations, there's definitely no pay to play. It is, they'll have a show, they'll print their tickets out, and you'll swing by the office, you pick up your tickets. Now, when you get those tickets, you don't pay any money for them. You're responsible for them, but you're not paying for them. What you sell, you get to keep a portion of, and then the bands that are there that night, whoever comes into the door didn't buy tickets, like just, walk-ins,
walk-ins, yeah.
they basically pretty much give you the door. The door goes to the bands, and they get the bar.
Cool.
So, we've never had to, like,
And if you
pay
don't,
them
if you don't
to-
sell your tickets, you just give them the tickets back that you
Yeah.
didn't sell, and that's the end of it.
And you go
It's
first,
No
'cause
big
you
deal.
sold
Yeah.
it.
So you didn't. Yay.
Sometimes it goes like that.
No.
And then you go first. Is that what?
No.
So-
It's not like
Just
that.
kidding.
It used to be like that back in the day.
Yeah, that's true.
So because you guys fall into an interesting sideline of ska and punk.
Realm.
Yes, a realm, the adjacent side of
Played
things.
with bands all over the board.
That you're not allowed to answer until the
I'm so-
question's
oh, shit.
asked.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
shut the fuck up.
That's okay.
Hold on.
That's okay.
Shut up, drummer.
It's 3
But my question is how did this come to be that you have keys and you have sax and now you've kind of incorporated a trombone who
Hi, Nick.
not here.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
You
Wish
need
you
to
were here.
switch shifts. But how did that come to be?
Well, the funny thing is, when the band started, like I said, it was just me and Jay and Knuckles. I know what I said. Fuck you. Anyways, we were just 3 guys who were in different bands who just weren't in bands anymore. So I was like, oh, let's start a band.
We're all middle-aged
And,
and old and sad we're not playing music, so we're like, let's keep doing it.
Yeah. And the
I
plan
need
was.
something besides hookers and blow. goddamn.
You do?
Only sometimes.
It
The
breaks the
music
monotony
accompany-
up,
I
Okay,
mean,
Charlie Sheen.
Tiger blood is strong within him.
The man who lives less than half a mile from a strip club.
That is true.
That's why his kids with the
That
hookers
is
chicks, huh?
true.
But the plan was originally we were like, oh, we're gonna do like a pop punk band because everybody used to be like, oh, you sound like Green Day, like on our other bands, and we're like, you know what, fuck them, we're gonna actually sound like Green Day. That didn't work. We started writing these songs and we're like, these songs are just
These
stupid.
songs
They
suck.
suck. And so then we decided that we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want. We're not gonna try to fit into any kind of genre. We're gonna blend the music styles that we like, and whatever comes out, comes out.
And it turns out Josh really likes RX Bandits, and I like Real Big Fish, and we all like No Effects. And
Jay likes Rancid.
Jay likes Rancid a lot,
So it just kind of started coming together like that. It was kind of ska, kind of punk, kind of not. And then Alexis, before she joined the band, we knew her for years too. She was she's been a friend of ours forever. And
Oh, pal.
she played saxophone, and we've been trying to get her to come play with us for ever
In the
before she
band.
finally did.
That
We
was a
finally-
very long partnership.
We finally broke her.
We finally got her to come
How?
out and jam
How?
with us.
How'd you break her?
A lot of
Like,
messaging me.
Continuously asking her.
They stalked you?
Yeah.
Our other friend who plays sax is a nurse and she can't.
So it's a lot of messages like, hey, we're practicing, want to come? Hey, we're going to practice. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing tonight? You guys want to come?
Well, it wasn't like we were strangers. We
No, I
we
knew
know
that.
her for years,
I'm
you
like,
know.
man, it sounds like fun. I was more on the fence because I'm like, I don't know if I want to commit to doing this. If it's not fun, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Is it fun?
I'm still thinking.
Well, it's been
I
like-
came to one practice, and it was cool because I got to write my own parts. Like before, I came from a long line of marching band and concert band and
Yes.
orchestral stuff, and I'm like, oh, I love reading music, and that was great. But when I showed up here, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play what I think fits, and it worked. It worked real well. It was really fun. And I said, okay, this is fun. I can commit to this. This is fun.
Good.
I didn't actually look at them and go, give me sheet music. I was like, no, I can do this. We're good. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we
and
covered
then,
We would look at you
She brings
what's
along-
she-
and I did bring.
She brings out her own like blank staff paper and writes out her.
And I did like.
How do you guys play this? What key am I in?
I would listen to what they were playing and I'd write my notes down, like, all right, those are the notes, I'll figure the rest out. But as we kept going, they're like, oh, are you okay, Alex? Are you getting this? Is it okay? I'm like, your guys' songs are all in the same fucking key.
Yeah.
Yes!
I'm like, we're good.
I'm a sax player, and so I had never, ever before been tasked with write your own part.
Mhm.
Listen to us play something.
Mhm. It was fun.
That's
She
challenging.
took to it
I
enough.
For
believe-
somebody
I
who's
believe
classically
she
trained,
got
who's
right,
always
yeah.
been given sheet music and
She-
told this is what you play, to be able to step back and go, oh, but they do. It's, the guitar and bass usually follow the same key, and you're like, oh, this shit's all the same. I got this. I can do this.
I do believe she said, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. Everything's in C."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other and we were like, "Fuck."
Right.
We gotta make sure we gotta be more
But I think
proactive about not being.
She was at like one practice, or was it two? It was
One.
One, and then she came out like 2 weeks later and played a show with
Well,
us.
and I was on a trip, and you guys called. I was on my way back, and like, hey, are you swinging back through? Stop here. We're playing a show. Come here now. I'm like, oh, all right.
So
No
it was like
problem.
one practice, played a show, and then that was it. She
And I
was
looked like such
she
a
was
dork. I
done.
had my staff music written. I wrote my notes. I need a stand, guys, because I gotta be able to see what I wrote down from a week ago. No, it worked. It worked out really. It was a lot of fun.
And then just a year later, a year after that, you know, Cassandra came around.
We were like, oh, marry
Well-
her.
Yeah, we ended up getting married.
Yeah.
But we didn't know her. It was we were looking for another band member, and
Second guitar.
yeah, and another friend of ours, Anna, was like, oh well, you got to check out my friend's sister. She's awesome, you know, and we're like, okay, you know, whatever, bring her around
Whatever.
sometime. Well, I mean, it was
Yeah,
like.
I'm just
yeah, we were
laughing
all
with it.
very cool about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So we played a show, and she brought her to one of our shows. Brought Cassandra to one of our shows, and so we met her, and everything was cool. And so we're like, well, come to one of our practices. And she come to our practice just to hang out, and you know, because the plan is, you know, we would rather have somebody who is cool and who is one of us.
You can't play unless we get along with you. Like,
Yeah,
That's important.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's
You don't want the asshole in the
Look,
band.
I don't care how good of a musician you are. If you know, if you're not one of us, you don't fit in.
If you're
you
making
can't
dick
be-
jokes, we don't want to.
Yeah.
It kind of fits in that.
Bigger than you
It fits in that whole thing that you were asking about. How do you solve fights? Well, you don't bring an asshole into the
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Why am I still here?
Sometimes you don't know that they're an asshole,
That's
though.
why you try them out.
So, you know, Cassandra came around and she just immediately was one of us. Like, we were just like, oh, she.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
So she came to practice with her guitar and her keyboard and tried it out. She
Well,
fucking
you guys
rocked.
originally wanted me to play saxophone, but then you found out that I played keyboard and
Oh,
guitar.
yeah, that's right.
Wow.
And you came to practice with, she came with
You
her
just wanted to
acoustic
marry
Oh,
guitar.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She came with her acoustic
Maybe
guitar
we
and started
should marry
singing
her.
and playing these songs, and it was like,
Let me
Can-
feel
can-
love.
you play guitar instead?
You play
And she
guitar.
rocked it, and the rest is history. And then, yeah, a few years later, we got married. So.
Aww.
It's so gross.
Everybody wins.
Because they're like in the back of the van all cuddled up, and we're all, it's so gross.
Why is that a gross thing?
Because they're like, I love you more.
She's like, oh, they're happy.
And they're like, no, you hang up first. You hang up first. And I'm like,
Well, your
shut the
songs
fuck
don't
up.
have any angst to them, so
Yeah.
maybe they should like be portrayed. I don't know if they could play them though. They'd be like, we don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
the other people think.
You guys hear that? You guys need to fight more.
So
You're in a bad mood, and they're flaunting their happiness all in your face, and you're like, man, just leave me the fuck alone for a minute. Stop.
I don't want to be happy. Fuck happy.
I'm trying to smoke a bowl and watch a
wanna
movie
feel
and go to
feelings.
bed. Like, stop being so. I'm always so happy.
So in love.
What is the ultimate goal of Ego and the Maniacs? What do you want to have?
To have as much fun as we can. That's really it.
Oh, well, I'll see
But
you
you've
later
achieved
then.
that. Right. So, like, I mean, do you want to go on larger tours? Are you looking at, like, expanding as far as...
Those are all things that we would really like to do, but we're all in, well, most of us are in professional lives, and it just doesn't, with families, everybody's married with kids, and it just doesn't seem like that's a possible thing. However, we take it as far as we can, and so far we're at where we're at, and we're still going.
The funny thing is, it started out as a three-piece that just wanted to do it on the weekends, not even play shows. We
Yeah,
even said,
yeah, they didn't
we even
wanna
said
play
no
shows.
shows. Like, we'll just do it for the fun of it, just jam out, just keep playing music.
I'm
Yeah,
playing
they're
And
like-
then they turned to this, and we're like, what the fuck just
They're
happened?
like, yeah, no shows, and I'm like,
So,
We'll see about that.
so you said a large majority of you are married with children.
I
Nah,
guess that's only two.
that's only two. That's a,
I mean,
that's
we
a
got four
minority.
babies, but
Yeah.
Well, my kids are all old and they're
Well,
all
yeah,
moving
his
out.
kids
so.
are all over 18.
Well, like, yeah, my son already moved out. My daughter moved out in January to go to Ohio State University, and I don't have any kids, so I'm like, let's tour.
Wow.
Let's tour everywhere. Let's just quit our
Who else
job.
has
and tour.
kids then?
I do. They're 5 and 7.
So
Yeah.
he's like, I can't tour. I need to be with my kids, and I'm like, no.
Do you incorporate them into music? Do you bring them to fests? Do they know about yours?
Oh,
Is it
They
a
come
little
out to music
secret?
as often as they can. They crash out around 9 o'clock, so they don't get to come to a lot of shows.
Sissies.
They get to come out for acoustics and stuff like that anytime we're playing a festival, which is cool. Toys R Us just closed down. Sad. But, hey, all their musical instruments were 50%
It's like
off.
Jimmy John shot the fucking
Yeah, you know?
crap.
Don't care. Good sub. Still eat there.
But, so all their shit was like 50% off on their musical instruments, so I snagged a bunch of those cheap. And, they like to
Get
bang
back
around
into
on
it.
them, play on them. They're still young, and I'm going to start making them play. I'm
And,
not making them play. They're interested in playing, and I'm
Good.
going to facilitate.
Jackson?
And acoustics, my son went to culinary school, so he does the food. He's done the food for acoustics.
Neat.
My daughter got into music on her own accord because I didn't push him for anything. I was like, do your thing. There's a music room. You can play if you want. So she got into it. So she has played the past 2 or 3 years. in
Yeah, she's
acoustics.
really fucking awesome.
Neat.
Yeah.
But she's going to nursing school and she wants to be a doctor like our roadie over there. So whatever.
He's an anesthesiologist.
I don't know. As a nurse, anesthetist. I
Anesthetist.
can't say. Fucking
Anesthetist accountable walk, you suck.
Yeah. And anesthetist and accountable.
We're not gonna. Yeah.
He gives people drugs and knock them the fuck
Yeah.
out.
No, not us though. 'Cause ethics. Like sick people.
Oh, I can't give you Versed.
Oh my god.
Oh, we said too much. Are you getting in trouble?
No.
No.
He didn't say his name. He
His
can't.
boss
I
is
did say
watching,
shut up.
and if his boss is watching, it's one of those quiet things where he can't comfortably even confront him because he'd be like, "I know what you do on the weekends." motherfucker." He's dripping it like in the old school 1800s to a fucking mask.
Mr. Smithers?
Yeah. So you have a new album coming out. Do you have merch? Because I know you gave us shirts. So
Yes.
talk about merchandise that you have available.
We have t-shirts, we have patches,
How
we
original.
have picks with Ego
Ego and Maniacs.
Ego Maniacs right on the pick, and then stickers. We're
Patches. We got
The patches are cool.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
there's another band called Trash Cat locally, and Ashley, their bass player, she does like screen printing for a bunch of local bands and
That's
stuff like
really
that.
a possum, though, right?
A trash cat? No. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Or a
awesome.
raccoon.
A
It's
raccoon?
it's a raccoon. It's a
No.
raccoon. These damn racoons get
No,
the
a
garbage.
raccoon's a
Rac-
trash panda.
A trash
Trash Panda,
panda.
that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
My
Come
goodness.
on.
Yeah, they're awesome
They're
local
opening.
bands.
So bad.
Sharan from Acoustics is working on opening up a screen printing shop. She's got her press, So from now on, we can offer teachers from her. So I don't know if they have a name yet for their thing, but yeah, we'll be.
Sharon, post in the comments your name.
Yeah.
Do that to direct
Guys,
So your screen.
Guys, like, subscribe, follow.
Oh, this motherfucker watches way too often. Yes, thank you. I had somebody.
He's our tech guy for sure.
He messaged me back and he was like, subscribe, follow, and I was like, motherfucker, you stole my line.
You
He's like,
stole
what
our
line?
shit.
And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I was like, you're not even a band. Shush. So it's,
Some of us really like technology, some of us are Luddites.
I could definitely do without technology. Give me an abacus and a book,
Yeah.
and I'll just shut the fuck up.
but
But
it,
Jay, without
I
a-
can't read the book by it.
I don't know how Facebook works.
Yeah, you're worse than I am.
I'm worse than you. Yeah.
I just don't like it.
but do you not find that there is benefit as far as being able to promote
Yep.
who you are through
His job.
social?
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yes.
And
It's all of your jobs. You're all in the fucking
No,
band.
no.
me, her, she Snapchats, millennial.
Cool.
She handles
I'm
the
a
millennial market.
zennial. That new classification.
Wow.
You probably read that.
It's in between X and them.
Right, because it was so large that they decided to bring in
Yeah.
another weird.
Well,
classification.
it's because I was there when the internet started. So
Yes.
that's what it is.
Raise your hand if that was a thing. From Oregon Trail to learning how to Google search.
I
God
remember,
damn
Dre
straight.
is a
I remember
bitch.
Face Space.
Hey guys, who played Number Crunchers?
Yeah.
Oh, great! I was really bad at math, but I wanted to know how to do math so that I could play that game well.
Because you gotta win,
Right.
right?
I remember, and you're like, I fucking lost. They won. Fucking internet won.
Apple IIe.
So as we are approaching the top of the hour, and I still feel like we have a significant amount to cover, but we're going to cut it short because I know that you all want to go enjoy your evening.
Well, we'll be here next year.
This is do we want to, or do we have
I want to
to
come to an acoustics fest.
Ooh, you
You,
should.
you know that we offer the live Jess the Ska Kid thing with like MC quality.
Come
on. Oh, yeah.
I can
Come
stand
on.
on the mic and just be like, hey
We-
motherfucker.
I saw you at the Punk Fest.
We'd
Right,
love to
I
have
did
you.
that
We'd
thing.
love to have you out. That'd be awesome.
Yes, so
His shirt
mean-
says so.
it was like a week or two before, and I think James had messaged me, and then you had messaged me, and I'm like, dude, like, I can't come out this weekend. I'm sorry, like, that's a planned thing. So,
It's only 8 hours.
I do.
Yeah, it's an easy
It's an
drive.
8-hour drive.
It's an 8-hour drive. But
You should
now-
do it with the trailer.
Dude, that's one thing that we lack. Like, I've learned so much from the people that actually come on our shows. I'm like, we kind of need these things. So it is a benefit of me because to me because I get to meet people who help expand my breadth of knowledge. But I digress. Where the fuck can people find you, Mr. Non-Social Media?
I'll be
on
at
social
home.
media.
Don't show up because I got guns and I don't like company.
No, you wouldn't shoot me, motherfucker.
No, not you. You said like, where can these people find me? Like, just please, like.
Not him
No.
specifically.
Oh.
You know where you
Hey,
can
no,
find
idiot.
it?
No
You-
one wants to find you anyway. Shut up, you're not that important.
You can
She makes a really good point.
You can cash them outside. How about that?
Oh, she's rich now.
Woo!
If that bitch can get rich, I can get rich, and I don't even have crazy fingernails or hands and
I'm
other
so
shit.
mad.
Where can people find you on the internet if people are like, they were really good?
You want to find us?
Hashtag Gus the drummer.
Come get us on Facebook. Ego and the Maniacs. You can come get us on Instagram. Hey, Ego Maniacs. I
Hey?
think.
Hey,
Egomaniacs.
Like,
See,
hey,
there's somebody else
hey,
already
motherfucker.
had it. So,
Snapchat.
Well, actually- Snap, yum. I can't word. Words.
Are you
Uh-oh.
driving home?
Hey guys, I'm drunk.
Yes, that's
Okay,
why
good.
she's not drinking and she's looking at you all condescendingly. You've
Snap.
not picked up on that.
I thought he was driving home until he did that.
Oh
I'm
no,
like, that's not
no,
happening.
she's driving.
Okay, good.
Snapchat is also Hey Ego Maniacs.
It's called
Snurp
Snatch Chat, and you can
Snurp
order a ham sandwich
Yes,
with it.
Snatch,
Oh.
Snatch Chat, get the roast beef.
It's all pink on the inside, motherfucker. That's how you know it's good. I'm a bad human.
Oh, that's great.
You're just right for us. You said you play sax. You
I
want to
do.
be?
I play alto, actually.
You want to be second chair?
You're gonna write me pieces, Mr. Kendrick? Because
Y'all on your own.
Hey, don't worry, they're all in the key of C. It'll be easy.
You'll be fine.
yes, they probably follow along the same thing. So you're on Snatch Chat,
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Snapchat
You're on
and
Facebook. You're on Bandcamp. You're on
Yes.
Spotify.
Yep.
What else?
We're on
Instagram. Hey,
Yeah.
Ego and the Maniacs.
Hey Egomaniacs.
Are you on iTunes?
Yeah.
We are on iTunes. We're on Amazon, and it's on the Google Play Store. Don't look for Igor and the Maniacs. Just enjoy it when it comes up.
How did you come up with that name?
Ego and the Maniacs.
That's it.
Jay and I were being dicks to
It
J-Mo.
goes back to the 3-piece. So, you know,
Didn't even breathe
clearly
it,
if
such a
he's
good
a guitar player, so we're like, God, you and your fucking ego all the time. And, you know, it's all about you, oh, the big guitar player. It goes back to a joke. How many guitar players change a light bulb? One. He holds on to it while the entire world revolves around him.
Oh, that's
Which doesn't work on a flat earth.
You can again on October 2nd.
Which does not exist. The earth is round. Or just, okay, whatever.
It's round and
Sea
it's on the.
monsters are real, spices are good, and goddamn it.
It's round and it's on the back of a giant turtle. Come on, guys.
So, yeah, right?
That's a weird.
So,
I know, right?
Go there. We're not gonna even go there.
So, the man,
After the cast.
Yes.
the man really has no ego. He's like a really humble, laid-back guy.
But they just love to
So
fuck with
because
you,
of that, we
you know,
keep
piss
making
me
fun of
off.
him about this ego, the ego, the ego. And at one point, he was like, you guys are idiots, and he's like, you guys are just being maniacs, like just chill out. And then he thought of we are the Animaniacs, the old Animaniacs.
Yeah!
So instead of going to Animaniacs, we decided to go ego, and we were the Maniacs, and we're just there to like service his ego, which didn't exist. And then we even said in that meeting,
All guitar players have an ego. We're not gonna fucking lie.
no, they just like to be louder than everybody else because they're so much better. But
Hey, J-Mo, thanks for not adjusting your pedal board tonight.
You guys sounded great, by the way. Like, to come in, set up from after playing a gig to be fucking spot on, minus, like, minute little let's make sure that you have a mic. You guys were fucking amazing.
thank you.
I am
No,
fully
first
appreciative
time ever.
of your want to come, like, play our fucking basement, deal with our kids and pizza, and, like, drink our beer. Like,
You have nice kids. They're awesome.
thanks.
Stop that.
Plus, you
I'm a dad. You leave me alone.
He's a dad.
I'm a
You need
dad.
to check your ego.
You want to do some dad jokes later? We are
You
going to dad
fucking
joke
maniac.
off. We'll have a dad joke off.
That's great.
Wait, you said joke, right?
I didn't say joke off.
Calm your chickens down.
I would have been saying jerk.
Hey.
On a side note, going back to the band name thing again, we booked our first show and we still didn't have a name yet, and that was our joke name, Ego and the Maniacs, until we
Yeah,
came
it
up with
wasn't-
a
it wasn't.
legit name.
It
So
wasn't.
Knuckles
It wasn't.
booked our first show, and Knuckles, oh, we got the show this date. Well, what'd you tell him our name is? He's like, Ego and the Maniacs.
That's
So I'm like, you son of a bitch! That's what you told him.
good.
Now,
We always said we're not going to play any shows, so we could just name it.
he finally acquiesced eventually. We had a show with the Toasters. And somebody said our name to the Toasters, and he was like, "Oh, I like that."
It's awesome.
And-
Bucket? You said it to Bucket?
Yeah, Bucket.
when-
Yeah,
he
He
was
was like,
cool
oh,
with
I
that.
like that.
Then he
name."
was like, "That's a good name."
He's like, Jay was like, "Fine,
His name's really Rod.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem."
Yeah, so like Rod Henley is his real name. And I remember the very first ever ska show I went to, because how I came to have my name is I did haunted houses as a little kid. Everybody listened to metal. I was the only kid that was like, I love everything and peace and everything. And everyone's like, fuck you, black metal. And I'm like, calm down. Yeah, no, for real. So the very first show I ever fucking went to where I was actually able to listen to the music I like was at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago. The Toasters played with support from Deals Gone Bad, Go Jimmy Go,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
On Your Marks. It was an amazing show. And I remember Bucket walking through the crowd, and I was like, ah! Like, I total fangirled, like, almost so much adrenaline I passed out. I hugged him, he played his set, and I was like, that guy was fucking wasted. I'm like, I don't even know what I had to worry about. But thus, since then, I'm friends with all the other bands that have then played and have been able to help connect them to other bands so that they can continue
You realize
to
that
play.
they're all wasted.
And it was, but it was such a good show, and so I will never forget that. And I am, I don't know, in awe, I guess, of how the scene has thus grown and expanded. And, you know, when he was starting out in the 80s as the Toasters with Moon Ska and, you know, growing that scene, it's like he has to just look, like, I'm proud of being able to draw people to come play my basement. He has to be amazed that this thing kicked off in Jamaica in the 50s and is now still going strong in America. So kudos to people who continue, like you yourselves, to, you know, promote music and play it and not shy away from something that could continue to be expanded. So bravo and hats off to all of you who continue to do that.
And you too for all you do for bringing everybody
In the
together.
name and for the
Being
house
that,
of
being that
Jess.
Midwest.
Hallelujah, House of Jess.
I'm just really, I am an egomaniac. I think I'm God. So, but I digress. You can find them on all social media platforms.
Where we get robbed, apparently.
No.
You just told us we did.
Yes. But again, if you are interested and you are a bandmate listening, because multiple of you who watch have festivals, invite them. Go do their thing.
Or send us a message and we'll bring it to Toledo and we'll set up a show.
Right.
Yeah.
So cross-referencing,
out.
that's what the whole point of this
Cross-dressing
thing is.
and referencing.
Oh,
Right.
I
It makes me
forgot.
think of
It's
turkey.
all good. It's all good.
Your cross-dressing totally made me think of turkey, and I was like, I want some fucking like, stuffing, which is amazing with applesauce. If
It's
you
like
have
some
never
rusty
sat down
chicken.
to eat stuffing with applesauce, you ain't been high enough.
Oh, I forgot. We're on YouTube.
You're on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And a friend of ours helped us shoot a music video for our song Nocturnal. So
Oh, yeah.
go check that out.
And Chris
Yes.
Colvin.
Chris Colvin.
Colvin.
What up, Chris? I hope your
Good.
job's working out good.
Wow, that sounded condescending as
Yeah, as
fuck.
fuck.
Chris, hey, Chris, it's perfect. Do it again. It looks lived in. It looks lived in.
Nothing like to the same
He
scene.
hates that
10,000
so much.
So, I'm Jess, the Ska Kid. This has been Ego and the Maniacs from Ohio.
Oh, hi.
And
Oh,
if you pay
hi.
attention,
Oh.
make sure to check out An Acoustics, which starts or is the first weekend in August.
Correct.
Because I pay attention to things.
That's very good.
Ah, thank you.
Sometimes I struggle with that, and I hope
We
don't.
talk about you guys on our show, like Friday night is new music and events. And
I've
so we
watched-
talk about
I
it.
just don't like
It's alright. You don't have to.
participate. I just
You don't have to
watch
internet
sometimes.
well. It's alright.
Yeah.
We still appreciate you.
Plus, I'm out in the country, kind of, so like my connection gets
Huh,
lost, and I'm like,
we're in the
wow.
city and we still are like, it went down,
Yeah.
start over. So far,
Yeah,
no one's tried to
don't
shut us.
congregate.
Country USA. Anyways, this has been our show. Thank you very much for watching our Saturday special afternoon evening matinee show with these guys. We're gonna send them off to Milwaukee so that they can get drunk and enjoy Milwaukee cheese curds and beer.
Milwaukee, the good land.
Milwaukee, which is not Oconomowoc. But yeah, that word. So you can catch us. You can catch us this upcoming week on the 13th. We have Dropping Daisies, and we will send you off into this good night. Kay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Like, follow, subscribe.